everybody. I'm passing around the participation sheet for today. Today is the 12th. There's a +3 to the left of your name if you turn in a screenshot of doing the evaluation, right? But this was printed out before I had done most of them, so the +3, if you did it and the +3 is not there, don't panic. The next printout should have it on it. If it's not there, then you panic and say, hey, you owe me points, okay? And let me know, okay? So first thing I want to do is go over the quiz. Where did my copy of the quiz go? There it is. Okay. Some people just smoke this thing, and others were having issues with using the rules appropriately. So after we go over the quiz, I'm going to go over the rules again. So if you feel comfortable with the rules and everything, you can take off early. Otherwise, you stay. Thursday, I will go over problems from 5.2 and 5.4. And these should be problems that you're not sure of or you got stuck on. Bring those in and we'll work over them. And like I've said, the test questions will not be as hard as the hardest homework questions. So if you can get 2/3 of the way through each homework set on 5.2 and 5.4, I think you're pretty good. Does everybody understand that? The test will be posted on Thursday and it will be due Sunday night. Okay? All right, so let's go over the quiz. Okay, first one is prove B, then D, and we have A, then B, then C, and we have not C, then D, then not A, and 3 is A. Okay. Okay, so the very first thing I would do is I would look for this in the premises B, then D. And I don't see B, then D anywhere. So the next thing I start thinking about is look for its opposite, B, then D, in the antecedent of a conditional, because if I can find the opposite of that, then I can get B, then D by modus tollens, okay? So I look for that, not B, then D in an antecedent, and I don't see that, okay? So now I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Another option is this. I can build this if I could find B, then blank, and a blank, then D, because I could put those together to get B, then D by hypothetical syllogism, okay? So let me see if I have those parts, a B, then a blank. Well, there's a B, then a blank, and do I have a blank, then a D? I do, okay? So those two parts, now look, this one does have a negation attached to it, but that negation will go away because the only way we can get an antecedent out of a conditional is by modus tollens, and that would drop the sign, okay? So I have the two parts. I need this part and I need that part. Okay, what do I need to get this? It's in a conditional. It says if A, then that's true. Well, A is true, so that is true. So that's my first step. B, then C, 1, 3, modus ponens. Okay? All right. So I've essentially got this piece. Now I need that one. It's right here. It's in the antecedent of a conditional. To get it out, I need the opposite of the consequent. I need an A. and there's an A right there. So 2 and 3, I can do modus tollens, and so I get the opposite of not C then D. In other words, I get C then D from 2 and 3 modus tollens. Now look, we have these two pieces and the blanks match. It's both a C, B then C, C then D. Let's cut out the middleman and we get B then D, 4, 5, hypothetical syllogism. And we're done. Okay, so that one should have been fairly simple. Okay. Any questions about that one? Okay, let me do problem number 2. This is prove D, and we have not A or B or C. We have A, and we have not C or D. Okay, so I look around for what I need, a D, and I see a D right here, and it's part of a disjunction, okay? So how do I get something out of a disjunction? So let's suppose I have box or circle, and this is what I want. Since this is an or, I need to find the opposite of the first disjunct, and then I can get circle by disjunctive syllogism, right? So if I have P or Q, if I can find not P, I can say Q by disjunctive syllogism, okay? So, I forgot, so I need a D, so that means I need to find a opposite of not C, which is a C. Well, there's a C up here in line 1. It's in a disjunction, which means I need the opposite of this first disjunct, okay? And the opposite of this would be A or B. I don't have that, but I can make it from line 2, okay? I can say A or B from 2 by addition, okay? And by the way, so a lot of people are overgeneralizing the rules, and look, on the rule sheets, look at the logical operators that are there. Those are the only logical operators that are allowed to do the move that we're doing. So you can't do something like this. You can't have A and say A then F by addition. No, addition is only with an OR. Does everybody understand that? Okay? All right, so now I have this. It's the opposite of that. So I can do disjunctive syllogism and get C from 1 and 4 disjunctive syllogism. Now I'm after D. Oh, the reason why I got D, C, is so I could get D from line 3. This or that, I have the opposite of this, so I get that. D from 3 and 5 disjunctive syllogism. And I'm done. Okay? Any questions about that? I know that when I do it, it makes complete sense, and starting the problem is a hard thing. So what you need to do is think through the problem backwards like I'm doing. So the most important thing is listening to what I'm saying before I start. That's more important than writing down these moves, because you gotta know how I figured out to do that. Okay. Okay, so that was number 2. Okay. So number 3. Number 3 is prove E or D, and we have A or B and C, and we have A then D, and we have B then D. Okay. So the first thing that I would do is I would look for E or D in my premises, and I don't see it, okay? And then I would look for its opposite. I would look for the opposite of this in the antecedent of a conditional, so I might get what I need by modus tollens. But I don't see that either. In fact, if I look closely, I notice that there's no E's in the premises. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what to do? Well, remember, we have this. If we have a D, we can add whatever we want. So let's suppose we added an E, and then we could reverse the order and end up with D or E or D, okay? So really, all we need to think about is, let's get a D. Everybody understand that so far? And I notice there's a D here, it's in a consequent, and there's a D there in a consequent. When you see some statement that is in a consequent twice, I told you there's one rule to think about using, and what rule is that? Simple dilemma, okay? In simple dilemma, I could get to a D if I had A or B. If I had A or B, then between that and these two, I could say D. Now look, there's an A or B right there. That's what I need to get. And it's in a conjunction, and that's fortunate because I can simplify conjunctions to get A or B from one by simplification, okay? Because this is an and, I can take the left conjunct, okay? Now look at 2, 3, and 4. A or B, if it's A, I get a D. If it's a B, I get a D. I have one or the other, either way I'm getting a D, so I'm getting a D. That's 5 from 2, 3, 4, and that's simple dilemma. Okay, and now I've already figured out how to get home, as it were. I can add an E, D or E, to 5 by addition. Now, this is a very common mistake. People went from 5 to E or D. You can't do that, okay? When you have something, you add and you say or, and then the new thing. Does everybody understand that? So this